I've even got the wife helping me out now, look. Forward as that, and then you hold the top of the lid. Ask me where I get these from, and I've just got it off of a site but you do need to take that brush box out to clean the brush box. One it is, love. And then I flush this system out again now. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. James the Koi Whisperer here. So on the last video, I had a load of people ask me how my koi pond setup actually runs, how it works. So in this video, what I was going to do, just give you a full demonstration of basically how I do my cleaning, how I look after and maintain my pond on a regular basis. It's you know, it's nothing special, nothing fancy, but I always get loads of people ask me, you know, ask me how I do this and how I do that and what I got running and stuff. So I thought to myself, well, maybe I'll just do a run through video of how I actually clean the filters, from how I start, from, you know, even just whacking the hose pipe out quick, how I set that on a trickle, and you know, go through my shower filter that I've got there, quick clean out, and a quick talk about the Epic filter as well. What I do with my pumps when I'm doing a clean out, how I you know, control the speed of the flow of the water when I'm cleaning out, so I'm not wasting water that I don't need to waste. And yeah, just basically a run through of all of those type of things really, guys. It's an absolute lovely day out here, so hope you guys stick around for the video, and hope it helps out a few people as well, because that's the main idea. So I'll crack on with the video now. See you in a bit. Yeah, so first job I do, basically straight out, grab my hose pipe, because I'm not downside I got in my garden is that hose pipe is at the front of the house. So I grab my hose pipe, I'll rig that one up, run it through the house. Go through the letterbox, then I can lock the door then. Clip that one onto there. Now I'll run back out and I'll set the speed. I literally, that's completely off. That's all I do. Tiny little trickle. Then we go back out to the, I certainly get me exercise doing this. The wife's there, she's going to be helping me doing the videos here. But yeah, so I come back out to here, and then what I do, I just release the air out of the hose pipe more than anything. So once I get all the air out, I just wiggle my finger around these air suction cups. As soon as I see the water coming out like that, I know all of the air is out of the system. I've even got the wife helping me out now, look. It's just filling up. But I like getting all of the air out of the system, just to make sure we got no chlorine running through. Lovely systems, these 3 stages. Easy to use, easy to maintain, and so easy to change the cartridge blocks. I'll show you, seeing as this is a new skimmer, I'll show you how I'm cleaning this one out. Straight to the koi shed. First job I do, open up the koi shed. I've got my bicarbonate soda there, which I'll add in a minute. I've also got my filter start that I add a very little amount, but I add it every week. So I've got my 3 buckets. That's all I use to do all of my cleaning. First job I'm going to do is do the skimmer. All I do, 1 bucket into the pond. I take out roughly half a bucket of water. These buckets are 12 3 gallon, is it? Or 12 litres, one of the two. So there's roughly a full bucket of water between the both. The skimmer itself is just super easy. You just literally lift out the middle pan, straight into that one. The skimmer carries on running itself. What I do, I chuck my pads into one side, all of the muck goes one side, and all I like to do is with the skimmer itself, it's clean, but I dunk it in that side, and that side, and then that sits back there ready for me to put it back in. So then you can see this water's pretty clean at the moment. I'll show you how much, this is just in 24 hours, how much extra this skimmer is really catching. And it's so easy to grab out and do this every day. You know, I find that it's making a lot less pressure on the filters themselves, and it's definitely helping keeping your water quality really clean. So what I do, I go into one side of the bucket and I'm just mixing them around, and then I'll do the other side of the bucket just to get them nice and clean. And it's as straightforward as that. And if you have a look into this bucket of water, I don't know if you can see that, there's a few leftover pellets because the skimmer is, I have got to play around with that like I said on the other day, but if you look at all the, how colour the water is, how mucky it is, it's certainly making a hell of a difference. And doing this every day is really easy. So putting the system back together, it's as straightforward as the sponge goes in, and I am going to customise some sponges to make it a little bit easier for myself as well. So the bottom sponge goes in. This is just a little bit of filter floss that I had left, and I put it in there just to play around. So that there goes one side, that goes the other side. As straightforward as that. And then you hold the top of the lid and you just literally sit it back into your skimmer box, and away she goes. That's as straightforward as it is. Right, so moving on to the shower system that I've got sat there. What I thought quickly, I've kept the water on what I've had out the, what I took out of the skimmer. I'm basically just going to show you how much water that I'm actually taking away. So I'll use another 2 buckets now, and I'll do the same system now. So basically what I'll do, I'll fill up half a bucket of water, and then I'll do exactly the same again. Just under half, you can see there. And then from there, all I do with the skimmer, with the shower, I just smack the off button. I lift down my planter box. I've still got to get a bonsai for that line. Then I lift the lid off. And in the top of the shower, what I've got in there is a sleeve. So, and what it is just, it catches 90% of the bigger stuff, and I'll show you that now. You can see there, all of the algae built up on that in 24 hours. It does get pushed out to the sides, but that's the way the water flows, but it catches it, so that's the main thing. So all I do with that one is I just dunk it in my box, up and down. And there's that one 90% clean. I'll use the second box just to rinse it off. I'm calling them boxes, they're water butts. So I'll use that to clear that off. And there's that one, that's clean. That's as easy as that is to clean. And if you have a look, it's just a real fine mesh. It's 400 micron, but it's an extra long bag. So many people ask me where I get these from, and I've just got it off of a site off of eBay. In future, I'll probably try to put a link to the video if they allow me to do it. But yeah, it's just literally off of eBay, and I think they're about £8, and it lasts forever. So I'll set that one back down next to the pond. If you like to just zoom in on that, and that there's 24 hours of, basically it's the bigger particles. There's more algae and a bit of poo in there, muck, but that's just 24 hours that is. And then that was the second rinse. But I still keep this water because I've got more cleaning to do. So from there, what I do, I have a piece of filter floss in the shower. The filter floss will be, it's only a thin piece of filter floss, but the length is the exact length of what the shower is. And I do replace it. This one here, really, it needs to be replaced now. I'll get away with about a week. So once a week I'll put a fresh bit in. But from there, what I do, I literally sit that down in my bucket of water, do exactly the same system, up and down, squeeze out the water, and you can do it into a couple of tubs because I'm going to be doing this again the second time of the minute. If you come over and have a look at this now and see how dirty this filter floss really does work. And I know you got to get your hands dirty, and I know there's other ways of doing stuff, but if you look at that, that's just 24 hours in one system, and that saves it running through your shower. So all I do then, I'm just going to save the water for demonstration. I'm on nearly 2 buckets of water now. So then I take out another small amount of water, give it a shake. Do a couple up and down. And the more times you squeeze this, you get more of the finer particles come out of it, more of the fish poo, the waste come out of it, and you get it out of your filter. So like I was saying, pretty much I do this on a daily basis. Like I said, it only takes less than 2 minutes. If I'm doing it without videoing, I can do that super quick. But you can still see there again now, look, how much dirt's coming out of that one piece. But the filter floss itself, if I get rid of it once a week, so now we're 2 buckets, just over 2 buckets of water out. I'll do the same again once more. But yeah, if you change, I sort of change this filter floss once a week, and it saves you one day a week. Saves you doing the job of actually cleaning it out. You can just, you know, whack yourself a fresh fit in, and that's what I should have done today. But for them, you know, just to show you all what's going on or how I do things. So we're at 2.5 buckets. I've got that one nice and clean again now. So all I do from this point of view is pull up my pants, just because you don't want to see the back side of me. The wife might want to go around this side now, and this is straightforward. It's me jumping up here like this. Sorry if you see any beer belly hanging out or anything, but I make do. I stand here like this, I just slide that one back in underneath, just put it underneath the spray bar. That's all I do, and the quicker that you can get this cleaned and back up and running, you don't lose any of your biological media. So from there, that goes me sleeve. I bet the wife's thinking she wants to push me in now really, but so then the sleeve goes in underneath. And I mean, you can get away with doing it less than twice a day, but sorry, twice a day, once a day. Can go 2 or 3 days to be honest, but from there I just turn them straight back on. It's as straightforward as that. It's up and running, and don't know what the wife's doing with the video in there, to be fair, but then we go lid straight back on. That one back on. That's the job done. Right then, so from there, I've got the 2.5 buckets of water sat down here, what I've took out so far. So I still save that water because I still need it for one more job, but I flush out the Epic filter next. When I say flush it out, I've tried to explain to you how I do it. I have changed it a little bit, slightly, to make it work better for me. And yeah, so what I do basically, I'll go over to the pump now, and because I haven't fitted a tap on it yet, I get the water siphoned back to the pond. So what I like doing is turning the pump down to 1% or 2%, basically as slow as the pump can run, to stop the water siphoning back down as I'm doing a bit of a clean, because I'll show you a system of how I do it and what's working for me at the moment. Yeah, so then basically I'm just turning the pump right down. I have been running it on 20%. It's a 10,000 litre an hour pump, but I turn it right down to 1% running, which is super slow. But the reason is to stop the water going back. So from there, don't know if you guys can see, I've got my conservatory window, which is how I maintain it. The lid's on the top obviously, and my tap's down the back. But we'll just go in there now. The whole time this is running, there's the wife again, look. But yeah, the whole time this is running, you can see the pump itself still running, but it's very, very trickling in. So I haven't done a video on this epic filter for a while, just down to the way everything ended up. But I've always said I'm always going to be honest about the situation and always give you my views on how I think it works, because I have always ever liked it. I just didn't like how things turned out. But that being said, so I've got my tap down there. That's how I flush it to waste. But I did add a few little extras. Basically, when the shower I had over there, when that one went down, I had a load of media, and it has been well matured. And I thought to myself, I'll just stick it into this filter to see how I get on. And you can already see, by this being just the brush box in there and what I've added to it, you can see the amount of build-up of algae, which this is not even in the water. This is at the water level, because I had to trim down this end box, and I still have to probably trim down that a little bit more to get it bang right. But you can still see the amount of build-up on this pad, which runs across these pads, is unbelievable. So all I do with these, I just literally lift them out and flush them out. But will be interesting to see. This only gets done once a week, so I can just lift this one straight out and you can see the waste. But it does collect a lot. I've got some snails in here as well growing by the looks of it. Get rid of they because I don't want them matching. But all I do is just hand down the back and then flush that water to waste. And because I keep it running, I just keep that running now on the first go. Reason I added a bit of filter floss into the top of this is because I found that the water was tracking up and the top of the brush box was getting dirty, but it was just tracking straight over the top. Now having this on there, it's pushing the water down, and I find it's working better. You can see on this one, see how much muck's on the top compared to what's on the bottom, and I flushed that out and all that muck didn't disappear. So what I do is I take that one over, because there's nothing on there that I need to keep. I just pick up all the muck, and it is surprising how much it catches, and I've always been surprised of how much it catches, but I'm also surprised how much passes through it. So I let it sort of have a bit of a mix around, and then I flush this system out again now. Flush that straight down the drain, and you can see, I don't know if you can see, and then turn that system off. Don't know if you can see, there's still a lot of poo sat at the bottom there. So I let that run for a little bit, let my drain catch up so it goes down the back of the drain, and then the wife just turns the pump off. The bottom one it is, love. So now I've turned the pump off just so you can see it. You can see I've mixed that up a couple of times, and there's still quite a bit of waste in there. Nothing major of a problem, but you can still see it. So all I do, I only do this once a week. I never touch this pad, never touch this pad or this pad. I just leave that and let it run. But I do make sure that I flush that bottom one once more, just to make sure to get as much of the crap out as possible. And then I fire it back up, switch the valve back over, the water fire back on the pump, and I'll just let that fill up. As that's filling up, I'll go and wash this brush box out. So part of the reason why I kept the dirty water, I just rinse off the two first pads just to give it a bit of a helping hand really. I know the water's dirty itself, but as long as I'm using pond water and giving them a bit of a mix up, it helps to get out 90% of the bigger particles, and it really does surprise me every time. This is only jack matting, and it surprises me how much particles actually get caught in it. The filter floss itself is not important. That's the main reason why I'm using that, is to push the water down. Because what I was finding, even though this Epic filter box is supposed to be a horizontal flow, what I was finding with the brush box, and I have got videos if you want to see, basically what I was finding, the water was coming in and all of the crap, I don't know if you can see it here on the video, but all of the crap was just on these two top pads. There was nothing on the bottom. Now I'm getting a more of an even spread on the box itself, but you can clearly see it's still tracking 90%. The water wants to get out at its easiest point. So you can still see it's trapping it, but there can be still slight improvements that I can sort of play around with and see if I can get it to work better for me. But yeah, I thought that was I just pick out all the poo, give it a bit of a shake up. And you can do this with a hose pipe because there's nothing on this apart from mechanical. There's nothing biological on this brush pad or brush box that you need to worry about keeping or saving. And sometimes I do just spray it off. This only gets done once a week, but one of them things that needs to be done. But it definitely, you do need to get your hand in there at some point and give it a bit of a clean up, because over time it just gets a bit mucky, and it's really surprising how much, just for a tiny brush box, I'm always surprised of how much it does actually collect at slow flow rates. But I do believe that if I didn't wash out my shower system to take the finer particles out, that this filter on its own would not be capable enough. But you sort of got to make do. So I'll get rid of that bit of water there now, and what I do, I just have some clean water from the pond, and I'll just show you again. I've cleaned this one out once already. There's that one, and you can still see a load of muck onto that one, but I just literally run big amounts of water through that box as quick as I can. So I do one like that, and then one like that. Give it a bit of a shake out, and it's not spotless, don't get me wrong, and I'm not worried about being spotless, but it's better than what it was. So from there, straight back into the filter, just sit in there. So from there you can see I managed to clean all of that system. On that box running at only 1%, it still hasn't topped up yet, which gives me enough time to pop that one back in place, sit that one back at the front again, because it does, I am finding it's helping. There's room, there's more than enough room in the box, and I will give this one a clean today. I'll do that one week and then that one the second week, but if I just lift this one up, that's still how much muck is managing to come through that filter box, which is surprising, to be fair. I'll go and clean that one now. Right, ready? Right, so the main reason why I'm using this filter floss is purely to stop that water travelling up and straight across the top. I'm using the filter floss as it comes in because it's got a diffuser block on the front of the pipe which works really well, but water always finds the easiest route to travel. So I'm literally just using that on the top of that diffuser block to help push the water down underneath the brush box first, because it's horizontal flow, but the water sort of comes in and it want to go straight across very quickly. So now the water's being forced down and it's got to come up before it comes out quickly. And I find it's just working that little bit better that way, just for how much more poo that it's trapping. But you know, I've made it work better for me, and I'm happy with how things are going with it. I mean, you can see how simple it's to clean, but you do need to take that brush box out to clean the brush box. And I mean, the whole problem with this filter to start with was only about that pipe. I never had a problem about the rest of the filter, so I know I had a few people ask me about that the other day. But for water clarity and, you know, biological side of things, the cartridge blocks on here have actually surprised me and been outstanding, the way the oxygen works around the filter. But you know, you can't please everybody. So the lid goes on from there. Yeah, so once a week, something else I do, OCD, I just have an old cloth and I just literally give the top of the box, because it's outside and it is open to the elements, I just give it a bit of a clean off. Do the sides if it looks a bit dirty, and it keeps everything looking nice. And I keep that tucked down for next week. Happy days. From there, after I've done all of the my water changes and the way I've washed out all my filters, and I only take out the pond. You know, you saw me how much water that I take out is what I replace with. So basically from there what I do, I add myself some sodium bicarbonate, and basically the reason why I use that, it's got to be a food grade. I use this on an every week basis because I have a low KH that comes out of my tap water, the fresh water going into the pond. I like to keep my KH stable and maintain the same amount. So you can weigh out how much you need to add with a digital set of scales, but I've been doing it for so long now. What I find is consistency is the key. So if consistency is the key to any koi pond, it doesn't matter what your KH is out your tap, as long as it's the same every week, your koi will get used to it. So all I do is add myself 2 tablespoons of bicarbonate soda, or are they teaspoons, love, or tablespoons?
Teaspoons.
Teaspoons they're called. But I've been doing the same every week now for the last couple of years, and I find it really helps keep my KH as stable as possible. So from there, if the wife would like to come in and have a look, all I do is have it into the bucket like so, mix it up, give it a good mix up, and this is pond water, right? It's not fresh water going in, a fresh supply. And then from there I just literally slowly add it. The koi won't, when it first goes in, I mean mine are pretty used to it so they won't flash, but if you've never put it in before, you might see your koi flash or flick because they're not used to it. Generally a lot of people don't have to worry about their KH. It depends what comes out your tap water. If your tap water, your KH is in between 4 to 6 drops on your test kit, you don't have to worry about doing anything as long as you're consistent. Consistency is key. With my KH, I have very soft water here, and the tap water, it doesn't even come out at 1 drop. So for me to maintain a steady pH, to help stabilise the pH, I keep it at exactly the same every single week. And you can buy this stuff off eBay, cheap as chips. I replaced one. Now you can buy it in bulk, but I don't like storing it. So I just buy myself a kilo bag, and that lasts me a good month, if not longer. And I just replace 2 tablespoons every week. And if I do a water test in between the week, I'll add half a tablespoon or a tablespoon. But the key is consistency. So one more thing I like to do every week is after all your water quality is fine, after any water change or flush out, I do believe that you flush away some of your beneficial bacteria. So what I'd like to do is just help that out by adding a couple of cupfuls every single week, just into your filter box, mainly into your biological side, just like so. And same again, I do that every single week, and I just find it helps out. Lid on after we get to that stage, and then I put my trusty old cap detector back on top. Happy days.